Our final speaker for this morning's session prior to lunch has also travelled a long way and recently arrived to Borlu or Walyalap from Bangladesh, which is not quite as far as the Netherlands, but still a fairly hefty, close to 7,000 kilometres away. So we're welcoming Mohammad Habib Reza from Brak University in Bangladesh, who will speak on sustainability, equity and heritage, exploring new contextualisation in the heritage sites. Mohammad is an Associate Professor of Architecture at Brak University in Bangladesh and is recognised for his expertise in both architectural theory and heritage management. He is a key proponent of new contextualism, an architectural and urban design approach, advocating for future-focused solutions deeply grounded in a comprehensive understanding of their wider context. Please join me in welcoming Mohammad.
All right. Good morning, everyone. It's a distinct pleasure for me to be here in Perth for the 2025th State Heritage Conference. Thank you to the organizer for inviting me. As I am speaking today on the topic sustainability, equity, and heritage, and through this, we are exploring the scope of new contextualism in the heritage sites. The theme of this conference, heritage ecosystem, resonate deeply with the work we have been developing at Brak University for last decades. It highlights the interconnectedness of heritage values with community needs, environmental dynamics, and indeed, the future trajectories of our built environment. My presentation today focusing on adaptive reuse in design will explore a philosophy we call new contextualism and its potential of a robust framework for navigating the complex ecosystem, particularly within heritage context. The central argument I will put forward is new contextualism offers a valued framework for creating heritage sites that are simultaneously sustainable, equitable, and culturally sensitive. It moves beyond mere preservation or purely aesthetic interventions towards holistic, adaptive strategies fit for the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century. Over the next 20 minutes, I will try to explore briefly introduce the philosophy of new contextualism and its core principles, discuss how those principles directly enhance adaptive reuse theory and practice, illustrate its applicable through some cases, highlighting challenges and new contextual driven solutions, briefly touch how it could contribute to the Western Australian context, and conclude with a second. Okay, got me. It's my problem. Okay, and conclude with the implication of the in future heritage projects. So it's all a start from here. This is the core belief we start from, and it was not only by me, but there were many people around the world, they believe similarly. And we do believe that design is for the future. After all, because the present is already past by the time the design is realized. So if we have to design something, and we have to predict the future, and that might help us to understand how we could do a better design. And interestingly, even when we design for the heritage, we are not designing for the past. We are designing for the future, how we could use this heritage or things for our future generations. So now, what is new contextualism? So at its heart, it represents a shift in design thinking. It emerged from a perceived need to move beyond the limitations of both modernism and postmodernism. Modernism often diverges from the context, and the postmodernism sometimes fragmented and lacking coherence. The core tenet is the creation of built environment consciously informed by a holistic understanding of context. This is not just about the present condition or the past history, though both are crucial. Particularly, it incorporates accurate prediction of the future, derived from studying historical and present trend. The goal is to understand the ultimate purpose or end goal of the design intervention, ensuring it remains relevant and resilient over time. To do so, in this philosophy, we try to understand the future first. And as it is started from the future understanding, so design should oriented towards the future, anticipating the needs and demand of future generations rather than solely focusing the present moment. This is because the present becomes the past, as you know, and when the design is complete, it will be used by the future generation or we when are at the future time. And to do so, we have to do a predictive design. So we have to predict the future and how we could do prediction. So nowadays, it is really easy. When we started about 12 years ago, it was really hard to collect information. And we were highly based on what we could have. So we tried to understand 10 layers of architecture or social context. And then through this layering, overlapping layering, we try to identify the trend, means how it was in previously and how it is working now. And with understanding this trend, we generally try to predict the future. And this prediction comes from the significant issues, means what are the issues of the 10 layers. So this prediction, I will show it in through some projects later. And we do believe that understanding means if we can understand better the past, that could help us to understand better the present as well as to better understand the future. So say, for example, means we could easily predict our population growth and many other things. And similarly, in architectural or heritage intervention, what as an architect or designer we need, we could predict somewhat. So nowadays, it is really easy to prediction because we can use big data and the AI to the prediction. And it's really working great for practice. Move on to what we do believe is the next thing is context and our shift of understanding of context, because previously many cultural philosophy proposes context, but our understanding of context is broader. We think that the context should be not for the past or the immediate sites or surroundings. Context should be very wider. It's multifaceted and not limited to the popular definitions. It's from micro to macro. It's from local to global. And it should consider traditional and technological aspects too. So context is not just the surroundings of any sites or any projects. And end of the day, the philosophy, that what we think is how could those large volume of data or information we could use. So we should use through the equity and justice, as Alan So also said. Means we have to decide the purity, the significance of particular data or particular issues through understanding of a broader context, and that might help us to take the decision which should come first and which should come next, and not from the popular biasness. Should be good for the client, or this should be good for the community. By embracing context, it allows for creation of more inclusive and diverse design tailored to the specific needs of the different groups. So through these 5 principles, we try to identify a framework how that could help. And in architecture or urban design, these principles, we use a different framework. But for particularly heritage management projects, and these 3 things comes handy. Means this helps to directly interpret heritage sites. One is the sustainability, where it's deeply embedded, because through the this studies, means 10 layers of studies, and with this understanding of predicting future through the past and present. It value adaptive and learning from the past, and particularly vernacular buildings tradition. This tradition often hold profound knowledge and sustainable technique and climate adaptation. New contextualism promotes an intelligent interpretation of those traditions, not merely imitations. This approach is culturally rooted and aligned perfectly with the resource conservation goal of adaptive reuse. And secondly, equity and justice. The definition of this means by definitions, as we believe in this equity and justice in our core, the community plays a crucial role to understand their development. So what we believe is we can build anything or any needs for the present or future, but with understanding from the community requirements, because culture or heritage is not static, it's future oriented. So it should address always the time present and future. Okay, and then as we go through a thorough study through AI and data we could have, that's always gives us a cultural sensitivity to the particular context, a wider context. And rigorous understanding of this broader context, not the physical side, but its history, local tradition, social dynamics, and environmental constant, it value local distinctiveness and aim to protect and enhance a site's unique character, a sense of place and historical continuity, embracing both tangible and intangible heritage. In synthesis, this approach strives for a harmonious blend of aesthetics quality, environmental responsibility, and social justice. It, as its predictive capacity and as well as is grounded in analysis, aim to create heritage adaptation that actually anticipate future needs like climate change, evolving social needs, and making them more resilient and durable. Now we'll move forward for showing you 3 proposals we generally try to explore for 3 different contexts. One is from Spain, and one is both 2 is from Bangladesh, but a different context. One is from a crowded density of Dhaka, and one is from a suburb place. It's very so. The first one is the Al-Kajaba of Guadix. It was a competition entry. So where the problem was that it was a castle in that hilltop, and presently in Guadix, the city is disconnected with the community. Means the citadel is disconnected with the city, and the core idea was to how we can connect with this with the present city. But interestingly, though it is presently in a Christian community, Christian country, but this citadel was built by an Islamic emperor. And when the Christian reconquered the city, they abandoned it. But nowadays, it is really a scope for them to celebrate the history. And they want to do these things, but they don't know how. And our proposal was to interconnect these things with the local other heritage paths and everything. So the key challenges was, the physically and socially detachment of the historical significant citadel, and modern amenities and economic function was not there, and local community was really felt threatened, because if there is a touristic development, then local people could be, they could lose their traditions. So to overcome this, our solution was to, try to connect these things with that. This one is the. No, the light is there. Thank you. Okay, we have to connect it. This is the church now. It's acting as the center of the city. So we tried to connect it with the new. Sorry, yeah. This is the church presently acting as the center of the city, and we try to connect it with this there. And through this, we try to establish our new proposal. And what we proposed is should be many plazas and activities around this path, and this path goes through the central place or the citadel. Like we proposes to recreate the previous plazas. It is the Islamic plaza, it was there. And then try to recreate the gateways that was previously there, but it is now abandoned and occupied by many other purposes. We proposes to reconstruct the churches. It was there before, but now it is abandoned. But our proposal was for the churches to make it as a public place, because they don't need many more churches there. Already surroundings have many churches, but it can be used as a public building, recreating from the previous architectural style. And from the historic souk means the Islamic bazaar, it was recreated a inn that was proposed to incorporate their social requirements and everything. There were economic functions too for the people. They used to produce local crafts and many other things, and we proposes many plazas and shops that could be incorporated as a local business place. And the connection was from every sites, means 4 sites they can access to the citadel, and that could help to generate the economy that sites too. So this was our proposal for the redevelopment. It was the old thing was kept there, but there are a new build form too, following the previous tradition. Okay, now we will move on to another Bangladeshi projects, and it's the artisan village in rural Bangladesh, and this is very old because they have their 700 years old tradition of making gold, then silver, and presently making local jewelry. And what happened is nowadays they have available cheap jewelry items around the world, and it is very cheap to Bangladesh too, because we are nearby to China and they produce everything, you know. So what they are feeling, they're really economically deprived, and that is why their next generation is changing their professions. Nobody is trying to follow their ancestors. So that is why this old tradition or heritage is going to die. So key challenges is there is the urbanization pressure. This rural village is not far from Dhaka, and Dhaka is expanding every day, and it is capturing 100 miles. So within a few days, that will be conquered too. So that's one thing. And the other thing is the economic competition, because there are other professions that could be more profitable for the people, the artisans and the next generation to get in. And the local traditions, because due to its, they're going through the economic development, there is little technical development in their artists' crafts. So that is losing to the competition. So this was a solution by the new contextual approach through that study and everything. We try. It was a project by my student Rafa Jahid. She completed her master's in British Columbia University, Canada, and she proposes as a thesis that the core is that we have to get back the focus to the artisan. And to do so, if we propose that touristic development, this touristic development should focus on the primarily on the artisan, not the tourist. So there should be minimum tourists there, and limited facilities would be there, and all other facilities will be developed to accommodate the artisans, not the tourists. So this is the basic idea she followed, and through that she tried to prevent the displacement of the artisans and boost them their economy, because they will get economic things or businesses there. They could show their product to the tourist, and there will be training center and amenities for the local artisans. So this is the proposal, and it's all comes from the local traditional buildings and everything, because brick is very common to Bangladesh, and there are bamboo and other things, but in a contemporary way. Similarly, particularly this project is in Dhaka. This is the oldest part of Dhaka, and with the urban development, it's already spoiled by the locals. And the center point is there. Sorry. I missed it. Okay, this is the portion we called Chowk. This is the oldest part of the Dhaka. So nowadays, the main problem, it is oldest part of the Dhaka, but nowadays you can trace it back. And present condition is like that. So all buildings are, with dilapidated conditions, very chaotic commercial developments, and people don't feel this is the center of their city. So this is the main challenges, and the challenges was overcome through a new development there, keeping the old traditions, but we can change many things, because all of those buildings are not very old. They already demolished and built many of them, the previous slides. So it was tried to be a civic center for the neighborhood, and to accommodate their all facilities there, keeping the old buildings there. So for example, this is the new proposal, keeping the old building there with new building forms, and integrating the new with the old, facilitating all local neighborhoods needs to make it the center again. So those cases illustrate that the challenges of heritage adaptation and many aspects of heritage adaptation could be addressed by these things. For last 10 years, we are practicing these things for many projects, and some of them are in Bangladesh. Heritage is not that popular yet because nobody cares heritage that much. So we're struggling and propagating these things to the people and government too. We're working towards it. But as a proposal or as an idea is really means accepted by, we try to explore it to the local people, and they are really appreciating these things, but we don't know when we could implement it in place. So that's it. And what I think is the new contextualism or believing in future could be a key for the development of Western Australia too. Because heritage could not be stagnant, or it should be developed. It should be embrace the future development, keeping the old definitely. And if we could think from the out of the present belief that the context or the understanding of heritage is not from the Western view, it's from the local view, then that might help us to understand how we could project this heritage to their future. So that's it from my side. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mohammed. I'm just going to move across. For those of you online, it's room A if you've got questions you'd like to pop through. Are there any questions in the room before I go to... Okay. Sorry, we just bring the microphone across.
Thank you. In regards to keeping the heritage, what's there, and then bringing in the new, how do you engage the community with them understanding that heritage and how it could be lost, but also embracing anything new that's coming in?
Okay, if I understand correctly, what I think is, Bangladesh have the similar things in Western Australia or the Australia too. We were colonized by the British, and previously we were colonized by the Mughals. And as a Bengali people, we gone through about 900 years of colonizations. So it's a long time, isn't it? And through that, what we now believe is, the British or the Mughals who comes from outside are part of the trajectory. We can avoid, as a Bengali root, we also mixed with them too. As we know, the syncretic history says that the cultural development or cultural understanding goes from one to another. It's not from the powerful to the less. It's from the other way too. So the other people also changed and adopted the culture of the, the invaders or whatever we called. And in that sense, we can go back to 900 years ago. We have to work for the present. And what we try to understand is, we try to understand what was in the past and try to project the pure past with the understanding of the context. Context is broader, means the invasion is also the context, and everything, means the technical changes, so through that understanding, that helps us to understand how we could project to the future. And definitely its core is the community or the people who belongs there. And as most of our project is not implemented yet. So many of them are connected through surveys and many things. And they're popular discussion through online and available sources. We use many things. And through that, we understand how they believe present day, because it changes every day. One's beliefs is not fixed. So it changes every day, and try to project it for the future, and that's help us to understand the design, what should be. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I've also got a comment. So thank you for a great presentation. I think the framework you've described has great applicability in WA. And I think another question, just I think quite similar to the question just asked, is whilst heritage is not static but future focused, how do you, I guess, make sure through those principles that there is room for community to have their voice and ensure that there's that truth-telling element that we've heard about this morning embedded in that contemporary restoration?
Yeah, what we believe in just and equity. And through this, what we try to understand the community first. And all our functions, our requirements, our future generations' needs all comes from them. It's not someone is designing and he's implementing these things to them. So definitely it's covered.
Covered in that. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Please join me in thanking Mohammad.